It was the following day. Morning had struck with it. Full bodies of heat pounced upon the mountain side. Small wounds lay in branching as the eyes within awoke. They never lie, a reoccurring thought, but they have, in passing, a second thought. Essences as dry as stone, they crooned on ledges that overlooked chasms far darker than the abyss of oncoming tunnels. The haze seemed to grape in whispers that were empty of any bone. Its flesh was grim, with nothing to ever touch. As it crept, steps turned to bounds, echoic with a mysterious quality only they could mystically attune to. There was no tension as it continued to move above, in pursuit of whatever it is it needed. Nothing less to fear but an antidote to this silent restlessness. The stone walls of numerous caves were cold. The heat outside the mountain often had no strong effects on the loosening of tight restraints. Bind me so I may be free. Bind me here as I glide. Dark blue was the collar as it swayed in and out of thousands of collars, hailed down beneath a melancholic palette. Maybe it was inspiring to continue to dash in search of meaning itself. Precipitating like vapor, the air around rose towards frosty peaks. From 1,000 collars to 1,000,000 stars, so much beauty. Bounds were in galloping pace now, in a race against time. The mountain was the arena, a temple twofold on its blade, to wet down thick foliage that grows so chillingly. Untethered to its sunken eyes, the excitement was blatant as its dashes guffawed with the thundering of lightning bolts. Reckless one could argue to scrape across the harshness of stone, to see no purpose in weaving with caution. As the dust blew, steps were nowhere to be heard. Peering through a crevice lined against sharper leaves, it burned out, tired to retire back into its wandering. There are no stars at this time. The pain would kill them. To choke out glimmers and lay waste to renewal. A sadder thought, but one that could be changed. The burning was a sensation most virulent, as it cleared to reveal only barrenness in what could be seen. Nothing. What's here is but nothing. A dedicated presence, but one without impression. For one void to lead to yet another, what was there to ever bear? The strongest eyes never dared see past this, for it was bright to inflict a writhing undercurrent on those whom are willing. It breathed fire like the flames it ignited, but only ever would those idle against the swiftness of such steps. Beaten time, however, and a new flame burns, not one of vexing love, but one of transcendence. It dug deep beneath once more to resume its trail. No resistance was to be felt where tree boughs fell to lay still, amongst the idle, against the swiftness. Beneath, movement.
Was never to be soft like lustrous sheen, but coarse and enduring to keep you enthralled, and one can no longer be seen as last light disappeared, with the sky above and the ground below. The swing of the web plunged up and down as the weight tried to drag its way down. This spider was no might.
How bright would I spur?
Its legs, however,
if I were heavy,
thoracle more beastly than
how far would I be able
stretched
to
like a
leap?
flower. A death blossom that hid away
around
from
it,
prying eyes,
knew
only till
how
her
bright
home
it could
invaded.
appear. The turtle
8 legs were counted, each one holding the spider aloft as it scuttled about, ready to return to the alone, and trapped in a newly made cocoon.
It burns
It
with
stung
its
like
love,
seizing
if
bites
only
that
I knew
prickled
how
and
to
prickled
paint
like
such a
desert
vivid
cactus.
mist, with the
The
colours
thorns
that have
sunk
been
in
laid
to
out.
state a claim of their own.
The water is gone,
It would
and
surge
with it my
like a
cleansing
vitriolic
gleam.
river, that coursed and trebled the spears laid out side to side.
Flow and flood.
A bed of ivy
With my
as dry
voice,
as
I
leaflets
shall
through
paint the
would
bound
let be.
that I am yet to convey.
Parasitic was the
For it is
urge,
a
a
presence that
non-avoidable
pursues my
nuisance that
somber
crawls
eye.
beneath the skin.
Impress
To
me
climb over
to
new
your
rungs of a
undercurrent
cage,
doth
the creature's
nearly
ribs
as
were
relax
inflamed with
as
the
your
soft
heart.
ember that trickled
Come,
carefully
for I
in
have
moments
spoken
dear
to
and
your
prolonging.
chills and your fire.
It thrived.
Speed up against
Now could
these
sear its
breathless
surface
winds,
in red
and
vein
find
delight.
peace in your
It never
stance.
cackled. It would do nothing
The
more than what it
shades
did.
of the
The
mountain
thorns had sunk
manifested once
through
more,
gashed wounds,
as
stupid rash-like,
its
bulbous and
fascination
swollen all
swirls
over the
with
body.
small bird's passion.
No amount of raucous
Oh, how
displeasure could be
tired
heard
I
in
am.
mean triumph.
With my hushed
The
words,
spiteful agony
your
that
swiftness
raged on in
speaks
tempest,
wonders to a
irritation,
cold soul.
crimson red,
I can now only
cerise
ask
to this
you
mean
to
torture,
swallow my fire,
a toiled
so
mind
I
so
may
annoyed
not
and
sweat out
discomfited.
in tongues of my plague.
With this
The
paralytic
mares
poison,
have fallen, for their shackled knees
the
have
thought
lost
of a prior life and life
faltered
unto a ghost of its
into
mind.
the night, and onto
Given the
their
force,
quiet
it would
morning
tumble with a
is where
landslide
the
small
truth
in
rises.
scale. Tumbling around with the scars of twin
Nowhere
fangs,
was I heard,
no
and
pain was
nowhere
felt
will I
with
be
this
choked
violence.
out.
The world spun around
You
him
are
as
the
a cloak,
renewal,
no
for
longer was
you
his
are without
transparency
my life.
apparent. The exterior of a
Unsaid,
rocky
the
heart was
dust
to prove
trickled,
to
as
be
the
tough
turtle
in
dove
order
the
to
only
maintain
dream
its
to
own
have heard.
composure.
Revelations
Seeing
of
blankness in death
From the
was what
dust
the
the
victim
mountain
felt
is
as the
better,
cocoon blackened
and for
everything
that
around.
its boundaries
In
can
ribbons
only
of
be
silk,
deep.
promises were held loose and thin as they wrapped all around, a mystery of the wrong kind that was to be discovered in the rocks that troubled themselves with their reality. Hurts many times being tossed around and heaved only to respond as they can. The silence of the outlook locked away from strength. The cocoon was looser than boulders of this ilk, but had a shell just as secure. No pain, no regret was felt, for the numbness of this poison. Many other cocoons held prominence beyond this one. The beast would walk over them without care, only to practice its cruel prey on one. To have been given more time, one additional action to swerve from this contempt. The injustice of this fate to try and fly sweetly only to be found within this net. However blessed or however burned, the victim only clung onto the enriched. To fill a void, drained by sunken teeth, and extinguish their pain. No other creature alive now may understand the style to palate. So what problem do they not pose under the wing of a creature flying so high? The mordant words mumbled behind the razor-edged cloak cut stone into gravel, to then be crushed underfoot. Acrimonious seduction of the spider's call to entangle naive mind. The insides have ceased their burning, but a degree of scarring only to spare out a broken mouth as empty as the carcass. A taste not saccharine, but a bitterness to be devoured by the world. As clear vision blurred all sense of the world, fell with dusk as even the light of the stars were removed. The severity of the prolonging fading light was a hindrance to the mean virus that clots all methods of functioning for the writhing caste. The heart grew cold with stone, to have lost connection with the mind. No information with no just path, the dependence of wings to fly about and rain down plumes of the sky. So great the tall trees that stand vigilant and sing amongst the clouds, confined here the cocoon could not reach out, a sliver of time to grow atop each new second. The hushed words could not elongate their tick, to grow patient and wait for Sharon's keen gaze. The river between worlds stretched. No longer could the victim manifest true intimacy when the heart beat slow and drudgery. The ferryman's boat glowed with ceaselessly fluttering souls as moths to this web. With no feeling of energy, no legs were kicked or heads raised in unsuccessful pursuit. The softest of the goodbyes began its culmination, but no other could hear it when it said so disdainfully, "A beautiful immortality closed off from kindly eyes. Detachment's next passenger, onward until a journey of separation. Now in hell what further flames are fanned? It is but inescapable to clear away the maquettes of former visitors." The beast welcomed them in Cerberus's absence. Angular in appearance and abhorrently freakish, the spider was both frail and imposing.